Packed though.
Yeah, it was work. It worked.
It was packed.
Yeah. And plus, well, this ADD society,
Yeah, it might work a little better.
right? Yeah. Their attention span is good as a squirrel's is.
What's wrong with the clock in here?
When the power went out, was it Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah.
They never changed it back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what happened. Hey, Ava.
Hi, Ava.
Wagwan, as they say. What's going on? Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Oh.
Hey, Ada. Ava and Ada.
Ada. Thank you, Ada. Thanks for joining us again today. Kiana's on too.
Hey, Kiana.
Yeah, yes, we lost power last week or something like that, didn't we, Pastor Nate? Last week?
It was a Sunday night, a real heavy wind day.
Okay.
Yeah. It knocked it out for a few minutes.
Teresa Forston.
Hi, Teresa.
Is that New Orleans, Louisiana? Teresa, are you from New Orleans? Hi, Stephanie, Nicole.
Pastor Dean, how are you, sir?
Paul Dean is on? Yes. I knew I felt a quake in the anointing.
The presence is here.
The presence showed up in Paul Dean. Praise the Lord.
Grace, mercy, and peace, sir.
Grace, mercy, and peace. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy, listen to it over and over again, man.
Thank you, Stephanie. I don't know, Jane. That was pretty straightforward. I thought that was in your face. Okay, there's another Forston that listens to us from New Orleans.
Good.
Mabriel, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm glad it's helping you.
Yep. If you got any questions, put them in the comments section, please.
Get them in there.
Yeah.
I'm glad your men are listening to it, Pastor Dean.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharina. Dr. Niles is on.
Hey, Sister Deb, what's up? Yeah, y'all come on and ask your questions. Hey, D.
Yeah, D, how you doing?
How are you? Hope you're doing well.
Tell Alvin I said hi.
Yeah.
Thanks, Teresa. We're trying to do the best we can for you all.
Yep.
Working hard.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are feel like we're working a little harder now than we were open.
It feels like it.
Some days, it feels like
I'm sure it's not, but it's just different.
Yeah, it's not, but yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I think it's more intellectually and emotionally draining than live ministry is for some reason. I don't understand why.
Yeah. All the extra creativity and you gotta do more. Yeah. And we're always not up here Sunday night doing this.
Ava said I check her sometime.
Yeah.
Keeps it official. Hey, Miss Sylvia.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's helping you too. Monia, how you doing?
Good. Valentina. Good.
Hey, Valentina, how you doing?
Good. So I just appreciate Ada. When listening to it, it shows me how so many people fail in being intentional with their life.
Okay.
When you were talking about the assessment part, what you need to adjust, I don't think a lot of people do that. To make adjustments and to be intentional about changing.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of times we're forced to change.
Yes.
And I'm not sure whether that's a change or an adjustment.
Right. Here's the question.
Pastor Dean?
Oh. Here's a question already.
Okay.
I missed
had one.
I'll go back and find this. Okay. So does it summarize to you should not go to bed with issues about your partner? Or should you tell him or her the issue so you can end the relationship faster or bond more? make a decision to work the relationship or marriage out?
I think you have to talk it out. But the other thing that's really revealing is this: the strength of your communication, I think, is directly related to the strength of the relationship. Because it is virtually impossible to build a strong relationship without having good communication.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the great revealer of weaknesses and the lack of ability to repair is when two people don't establish the right conversational atmosphere. Because I think communication, in all the counseling sessions I've ever done, communication is the number one question I ask, because communication affects intimacy, finances, flow of the house, structure, flow of the relationship, responsibility, accountability. It starts with communication. So if you, and a lot of times we will try to build a relationship with a person who is not communicative with the hope that they will become, and be eternally frustrated in that relationship because you don't have a person who communicates, and invariably find yourself trying to have fruitful conversations with people outside your relationship. Is that making sense?
So, Paul, should an alpha male date an alpha female?
I think it can be done, but I think if they're both not good communicators, and the alpha is more emotional than intellectual and spiritual, I think you'll have a problem. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
Sometimes we think people are alpha because they're emotional and aggressive.
Right.
But alpha is more of a state of mind.
Yep. Yeah.
So it can be extremely difficult and frustrating.
Yeah. So Kife, my question tonight is a single man worth a lot to someone to be a leader so he can bring them up out of depression? Can a man put a more positive output in a relationship so it can work out? So it can work?
I think if the person is prone to recovery, yes. If the person has found comfort and gets attention through being negative, they don't think there's a compensation in being positive, because that's the way, a sad look, or looking sad and saying, I don't know, when it's obvious something is wrong, or nothing's wrong, everything's okay. When the expression tells you something is drastically wrong. People cultivate that sometimes, I've found in counseling, to get attention, because they don't want a solution. They want attention that goes along with a solution.
Yeah.
So the top priority is not solving the problem. Top priority is getting attention.
Yeah. Can you drive home that piece about being macho and how that may look?
Macho men are normally not conversant. They are guys that don't like questions, because they don't like explaining, because they don't have a logical reason for some of the things that they do. Mm-hmm. So macho is a cover. It's like a blanket that covers insecurity, a lack of communication, a lack of insight, and it's a general excuse. It's the same excuse. Macho is a that's the way I am explanation, and you're going to have to accept it.
Yeah.
And anytime you're macho, or you take hope away from your partner, because you're actually basically telling the person, this part of your personality is hurting me, and you're saying, well, this is just the way I am. You're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nicole, but what about, she asked the earlier question, what about listening and knowing when to respond in the event there are tears?
I don't say ignore the tears, but don't let the tears dominate the conversation. The tears will indicate that something either in the conversation or emotion related to the problem in the conversation, if it's a problem, is being revealed. So, you know, I usually ask directly, why are you crying? And the why are you crying can reveal to you whether the crying is a tactic or a real emotion. I hope that made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Them tears can be very manipulative at times.
Oh yeah, and people use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my children use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chandler turn them on in a minute. Raina turn them on in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can turn them on and turn them off that quick.
Yeah, and I tell them, we're not having that.
Yeah.
You can dry those up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions in here? I think we got them all.
We got them all?
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Okay.
I saw it. I think her name was Eva Moore. She had the question earlier. If you can,
Is she on there now?
I saw her say something earlier. If you're watching, put it back on there if you can. It was about the devil and his power, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Avi Moore. Yeah.
Yeah, I offer a tissue and keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't let that can't let be diverted by that.
Yeah, even help dry your tears too. Sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It ain't gonna change the conversation.
No.
Here's a big thing. Donna
Yeah.
said she believes in spiritual counseling before marriage concerning finances, intimacy, and communication. So many of people, married couples that come to me, I'm sure the same thing with you.
Yep.
My first question when they're in trouble, did you guys have premarital counseling?
Yep. And invariably they say no.
No. Yep.
Or they had an hour.
Yep. Yeah, going to date night.
I said 1 hour? 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
You can't build nothing in an hour except the rector set, maybe.
Right. And then you got to go through the whole process of premarital counseling after you've been married for 5 years.
You got to do a pre-post.
Yeah. Yeah. Avi, ask the question that you asked before on the discussion before the video started.
Okay.
Whoops. What is the definition of a good thing when a man finds a wife? Well, you got to look up that word. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You have to look up that word find. That word find does not mean search in the Hebrew.
Right.
You've taken that scripture completely out of
context.
All
the way out of context.
That word find means happenstance. You happen to light upon it. It looks like coincidence.
Yep.
So it's not like I'm running after her and I found her. It's just, it's like the Ruth and Boaz thing. Boaz didn't go to the field looking for Ruth.
No.
Ruth didn't go to the field looking for Boaz.
Right.
She went for food. He went to work, and boom.
Yeah.
They happened to run into each other.
That's a find.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Maya. So Avi asked the question earlier. God created heaven and earth. That means he created his enemy, the devil. Then how does he have power? How does the devil have power here on the earth?
Well, first off, Lucifer starts out as an angel. Angels are equipped with power. When God threw him out, he threw him out with a measure of that power. He didn't strip him of it because he had to make him the prince of the power of the air and also give him authority over the earth. But angels are not as strong as God. So as a fallen angel, he has the powers and the ability of an angel like this. Angels are not omnipresent. They just have supernatural speed. God is omnipresent. Angels are not all-knowing. They just know what their experience is or know what God has revealed to them or what we reveal to them. So they're not omnipotent, they're not omniscient, and they're not omnipresent. So therefore, if I can say it like this, they are the fruit of the glory of God. They are a manifestation of God. Angels are a manifestation of God in the way that he needs them to be. So Lucifer himself started out being really close to God, but decided he was going to be God. So then Lucifer became fallen. So he's an angel who has fallen, and we call those angels that are fallen demons. That's the short explanation.
Yeah.
So of course God has power over them, and through Jesus Christ we also have power over them.
So Keith wanted to know about Proverbs 17:17, where it talks about
Okay.
a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
Okay.
Friend, he wants, I guess, an explanation on.
You want to take that one?
Sure. I mean, to me, this whole scripture, a friend loveth at all times, a brother is born for adversity, kind of shows, if I can say it like this, time and circumstance with a person.
Right.
Proves who they are.
Right.
All right. Because a friend loves at all times, but you don't know that until you've been through a whole lot of times.
Yeah.
A brother's born for adversity, that God will send some people into your life too that can help you during difficult seasons. And I don't know if we want to get caught up on I got to research it more between the friend and brother piece. But
well, here's it's our version of it is the ride or die friend.
Yes. Yeah.
The one that stays with you through a crisis.
Yeah.
You know, and some people have friends inconvenience when it's convenient, and some have friends through seasons of inconvenience.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And the ride or die thing too, y'all, is I shouldn't put you through a crazy ride and expect you to stay, because that's what we do.
No.
Yeah. You know, I can send you on a crazy trip, and just to test you, you gonna fail that test.
That's a toxic person. Try messing with your friendship. They don't value it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that happens, Pastor Nick, people think friendship demands that you test the strength of the friendship with negative things.
Right.
Not knowing that those tests diminish the integrity of the friendship.
Yes.
And the strength of the friendship.
Yes.
So some people don't know how to care for a friend.
Yes. So true. So true. Any of the questions, throw them in the comment section. I might as well. We always get in trouble anyway, so
go ahead.
I'll throw it out there. Even some of our gospel music and some of our preaching in some black churches, everything is either somebody else's fault. Somebody else did you dirty. It's never really a song about our responsibility in the relationship.
No.
And I wonder if even some of the stuff we listen to contributes to our toxicity.
I think it does.
Okay. All right.
I think it, do you think, Pastor Nick, that it reinforces to a point where we turn a negative into a positive, even though we know it's not a good trait?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We turn the victims real quick.
Yeah.
It's always what somebody else did to us. Church hurting somebody else that hurt us, but we never talk about, did we play a role? Could we have done or said some things better?
Yeah.
You know.
Almost like we celebrate brokenness and not blessing.
Right.
And we don't understand John 15. It is impossible for God to grow you without cutting you.
Yeah. Yes. That's good. So Sid wants to know, why do some people take on toxic people like a project, like someone to be conquered?
Lacking something within themselves. Some people can only feel good, Sid, when they're around needy people. That way they feel wanted, even though the relationship might be detrimental to them. They get the compensation is feeling wanted and feeling needed. So a drastically flawed person, you will find an individual staying with that person for a long time, simply because their dysfunction causes them to feel needed all the time.
Yeah. And
then they'll complain about the dysfunction, but they won't leave it because the dysfunction is making them feel wanted.
Yeah. It's so insane. Pastor D wants to know, if a man is getting 10 times better, but the woman is not growing, what does the man do?
It's an uneven yoke.
Yeah.
It's an uneven yoke because if the person is proper for the yoke and the nature is the same, both of them should experience growth in the yoke based on, pulling life together. A lot of times I think we don't wait long enough to find out a person's nature.
Yeah.
Because the personality that's presented does not always reveal the nature of the person.
Yep. Yep. Sure. How do you get a man to understand love languages?
Tell him.
Thank you.
Just tell him. And it's not if you wait for someone to discover what your love language is, who does not have that kind of discernment or doesn't care enough to look for it, and if you're hiding it, he will never know it.
Yeah.
So people play better when they know the rules.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we can't get caught up in, if they love me, they'll know what I want and know what I need. It doesn't work that way.
Talk.
It's like getting those toys at Christmas and trying to assemble them without the directions.
Mm-hmm.
You get it assembled and find out 6 or 7 pieces are still on the floor and wonder why it doesn't work. So we have to give each other directions, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Shonda, based upon the definition you gave about finding a good thing, how does that align with online dating? People suggested I try it, but I'm waiting to be found in the way that you described.
Well, the problem with online dating is you get the presentation and not the real person most of the time. The online dating identity is often different from the real identity, because people are presenting their best face. And then if you have that online relationship and each person is presenting clearly only what they think will draw the other person in, then you only are interested in part of that person.
Mm-hmm.
So when the pressure of a one-on-one relationship comes up, then all the things that were hidden start to emerge.
Yeah.
And the only thing that can help a real relationships, 99% of them, Pastor Nick, that I've found in counseling sessions that I've done, if there is no fellowship, there can be no real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't have real authentic fellowship online.
Yep. Yep. You can't.
Okay. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it at all. Nicole asks, what if a woman is good in the kitchen, man is good watching TV after work, so they get 10 times better each in their own right? Is that unequally yoked?
I would say so. Unless, of course, you all are okay with the way you have that segmented.
Yeah.
If those are characteristics that are give you some independence in the relationship, or they're not places of interest, but there are other places of interest that benefit the relationship, you may be able to create some balance. Because you don't have to agree on everything, but you do have to bring to the table what the other person needs.
Yes. Yes.
And I just think if you see somebody struggling with something, Pastor Nick,
Mm-hmm.
and the person watches you struggle and doesn't offer to help you, I don't know what kind of love that is.
Mm-hmm. Agreed, totally. Jabez, are men the same as they were back in Motown days? Do they still court? This modern day behavior is not my cup of tea.
I think men do. The younger guys, a lot of them have a very low bar.
Mm-hmm.
And what has happened is the ladies have lowered their bar in order to have someone. Because, I know I've counseled ladies that have children by a man and expect nothing from him, and don't expect child support, don't expect moral support, don't expect anything, but they're having children by the guy.
Yep.
So, but I, when I run in that situation, I talk to them about they've lowered the bar of expectation. So all the guy has to do is be physically present and make another baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somewhere along the line, some of the women the young women in this generation call chivalry weakness.
Okay.
And it's not all saying it's all their fault, but some of them call it weakness. So when a guy's like that, he's weak, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and the problem is this feminist language gives a guy the impression that you don't need to be chivalrous anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I said years ago, Pastor Nick, that was going to backfire on the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Because men were going to be so cautious about being courteous and chivalrous and gentlemanly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were afraid it was an insult to their femininity.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women are missing the attention now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sorry.
You can't hold the door for a woman.
Yeah.
What you trying to say? I ain't trying to say nothing. I'm holding the door. Hold it yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Come on.
So,
let me open the door for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me help you out.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know about you. I like it when a woman can do it.
Absolutely.
And look, her strength is not anything against mine.
Yeah, no.
Just let me do it for you. I got.
Yeah,
I know you can do it.
Yeah, I know you can.
I know you can.
Yeah, cool.
I got it.
What's that Dean had up there?
He had a few things he said. I was trying to get. You want me to get your question? I'll get him.
He had a question. The last one. Does it mean you're unequal if intimacy is horrible? Yes.
Yes.
Bad communication, number one, and a bad communication before getting into the relationship, in the relationship. Intimacy suffers because of communication. You have no way of knowing what the experience is and all unless you talk about it.
Yep. Speak to us, women, about the importance of the chase, if that is a thing.
The chase? I think that the women are chasing the guys now, but in the traditional sense, I think the chase can be taken too far if a woman acts like she does. Like here's the problem with the chase. I'm not going to call I'm not going to call. I'm going to wait and see how long it takes him to call. I'm not going to respond to a text. I'm going to wait and see if he, cares enough to text me. That whole thing has been distorted. Mm-hmm. Men like to be pursued like women like to be pursued. And I'm not talking about, sleeping on your doorstep. I'm talking about reach out to men sometimes, answer the text sometimes. I think it's ridiculous in this day and time, and you taught me this, Pastor Nick, and didn't know it, for a person to say they didn't receive a text is probably 90% not true. They didn't, because people are on their phones all the time. Mm-hmm. They're checking their phones every 15 minutes. I didn't see it. Maybe sometimes.
Yeah, I get. Sometimes you.
Sometimes, yeah. If you get a lot of text, yes. But if you're a normal human being walking around who lives on their phone, to say you didn't see the voicemail, you didn't see the missed call, and you didn't see the text, say you were too busy to answer. Don't just say you didn't see it.
Right. Yeah. So
because I think when you're in a relationship with somebody, you're looking for their communication. You're looking for it. So if the communication has been set up to be productive in a relationship.
Right. Sid, that's the question. Have you heard the term ghosted? Why would a man or woman develop a relationship, then drop off the face of the earth? That happens.
Too intense, too fast, or don't have the courage to say what they don't like. And the word chase, I think, is, I think chase and showing interest are remarkably different. I think it's counterproductive not to show interest if you're interested and someone is showing interest in you that you are interested in. It is counterproductive not to show an interest. But I don't think anybody should chase anybody.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Oh, that's right. That's the name. Thank you, Antoine. They're called simps.
What's a simp?
A simp is what they call a weak guy who comes across too emotional
Yeah,
And,
I call that a beta male.
yeah, they simping. Yeah,
That's a beta male. He's
yeah,
scared to say what he doesn't like, scared to say what he does like, feel like he has to agree all the time. That's a beta male.
yeah. He's got a. Yeah, they call it simping. And
We called them punks back in the day.
yeah, yeah. And then sometimes they'll take a guy who's very chivalrous, very nice, and call him a simp because they're not used to good treatment. So it depends on the usage and the type of woman too.
Yeah.
You know, like I get. I remember you said this years ago. When a man and women argue, he's like, "Man, look at her face, look at her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she might be getting turned on."
Right.
It shouldn't take for us to have to argue for you to be like, "Oh, he's
no.
Like who?
That's twisted.
Yeah,
it's twisted.
Come on.
You want to show a strength? Bring some barbells into the room. Let me lift those for you.
Right. Keisha Bryant wants to know. Good evening again, Bishop. Question: even though my mom and sister passed,
mm-hmm.
how do I keep myself? And I'm still missing both of them. My mom had 2 girls, but I'm only girl living as an adult.
I don't ever, Keisha, ever listen to anyone that tells you you should not miss them. Hear me clearly now. The death of a loved one, especially a parent, is not something you get over. You're not supposed to get over your mother, get over your father. You're supposed to get through it. The whole part of grief is not a curse. Grief is a gift that God gives us to get us from shock, to escort us from shock to acceptance. Acceptance does not mean you won't miss them. If people miss bad parents, if you had a good one, certainly you're going to miss them.
Yep.
So never let anybody give you the impression, you ought to have more faith. Faith has nothing to do with missing a loved one.
Yep, absolutely. And we encourage you this Thursday in December, we're doing 2-part series on managing grief during the holidays.
Okay.
So that's this Thursday at 7:00. We're working on that panel now.
And I think if you are going through a very difficult time with the passing of a loved one, the series I did in February, was it,
yes.
Pastor Nick? Your heart will beat again.
I think it was the end of February into March, I believe.
All right. Your heart will beat again is the name of this. Wasn't it? Yeah. Your heart will beat again. My heart will beat again.
Yep. Yeah. Your heart will beat. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. If you go there, I think it'll bless you. And anybody else that's listening tonight.
Yeah.
Your heart or my heart will beat again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I meant to tell you about Thursday too. So
what's Thursday?
I was gonna see if you were open. I'm checking with Cynthia now. The panel for mourning for grief, how to handle grief during holidays.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what your appointment schedule's like.
Well, thanks for telling me.
We're working some stuff out. We had to make some adjustments, so we got our Thursdays mixed up.
Nicole has another good one.
Let me see. Why is it that sometimes people in general do not respect a woman until she starts yelling or cursing politely, being rude? Prior to that, people act like they can't help, like in an auto store, supermarket, or business. They assume they can get over on the woman.
Huh? So in those environments, if you don't act up, they don't give you the attention you need.
I guess if a woman's not as assertive, like at a car dealership, the guy think he can get over on her because she's a woman.
I think you can be assertive without cursing and going off. I actually think that they believe you fall into the trap if you lose your control. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. But some around in our church, especially the ladies, when they get ready to buy a car, they know to call the church, and we send them to a place, and then most of them call me and tell me what the deal is, that I can say, okay, that's still too much, that. But we send our people to relationships that we have.
Yeah. The heart will beat against. The link is in the comments. And
there it is.
Click on the link.
You'll really enjoy that.
Yeah.
For those of you who have lost a loved one, doesn't matter how long ago.
Yep. So it is 6:55.
Wow.
We've been on for like over a half hour.
Have we?
Yeah. So please don't forget, tomorrow we have Embrace class for those who are in it. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And I think it's ministers tomorrow.
Ministers classes tomorrow. I had pastors last Monday.
Yeah, ministers tomorrow. Tuesday is Diamonds Women's Ministry. I think you're
the women's seminar.
The women's seminar, yeah. Women's summit. You and Reverend Mobley did it. Yeah. That's this coming Tuesday at 7. Then of course Wednesday Bible study. Thursday is a panel on grief during our holidays. Yeah. Oh, it's a fresh Friday this Friday, the 13th. Friday the 13th, cool.
Okay.
And then the 14th, of course, is on point, and driving service, weather permitting. And then we'll be back next week with another 10 times better.
Jason said it's 9:56 a.m. where he is. Where you at, Jason?
Where are you from?
He said a.m. Did he mean p.m.? He must mean p.m.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the recap tomorrow at 5:30. The recap for for Sunday service. 5:30 tomorrow. If
you didn't see the services today, I would take the time to look. Amazing time we had with the Lord.
Oh yeah, I think Jason's in New Zealand, I believe, because he comes on.
Jason's in New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah, because they're ahead of us. They're
24 hours. 24 hours and 2 hours, something like that.
That's right. Yeah, because when you flew over there, you were
or it's 22 hours or something, whatever it is.
Yeah, I know, but you were in another day that you had to come back.
I left on Monday, got home on Sunday. It was left on Friday, got there on Friday, left on. It was wild.
Yeah. Oh, he's from Australia. Sorry.
We had a great time both in Australia and New Zealand. We ministered there. It was great.
Yeah, he's from Australia, and it's Monday morning.
Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Yeah. Let's be our last. Can you give me some scriptures to read on my spare time? Thank you, so I can read on my free time. Any ideas?
This is what I would do, Keish. I would start in Genesis and John. Exodus. Where's that? Acts.
Okay.
Exodus, Genesis and John, Exodus and Acts. I would start there. Leviticus and Hebrews. Genesis and John, Exodus and Acts, Leviticus and Hebrews.
Yeah.
And I would read those pairs. Because Genesis will relate to John, Exodus will relate to Acts, Leviticus will relate to Hebrews.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, we started on Sundays at 11 o'clock. We have a Zoom class for our kids.
Yeah.
Where the teachers are on with the kids. Yeah. And they talk to them there.
They'll enjoy it. They'll enjoy it.
They got somebody from New Zealand on too. Cool.
Hey, Belva, how are you?
Yeah.
I preached for almost a week in New Zealand. Yeah.
That's cool. Now that's a place you wouldn't probably go scuba diving down by their reef too.
No.
You wouldn't do that?
No. Well, I did get in the water in New Zealand. I didn't get in the water in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, because those great whites are just a little too intimidating for me.
Oh no, I wouldn't even go in there at all. I'm good.
Nah. New Zealand is a wonderful place. Australia is a wonderful place. But I met some great people in both countries.
Yeah.
And I preached for a week in New Zealand too.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, y'all. 6:59.
See you later now.
See y'all later. Bye.
God bless you.
Bless you.